Her last words were a comfort until something else started whispering them to me. My mother believes God has a floor plan for everything, but I know some things just get built wrong. In our house, faith wasn't a Sunday thing. It was in the air we breathed. Angels and demons were as real as the mailman. My family saw signs everywhere. Me? I just saw coincidences. Wishful thinking. But some things stick to you. After my Aunt Tamsin died, her old sewing machine started up on its own. We'd be woken at 3 a.m. by the low hum of the motor and the steady thump, 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 thump of the needle punching through phantom fabric. My dad would go in, find the machine still and silent, the power cord coiled on the floor beside it. When my grandma Elspeth passed, her room at the end of the hall became a dead space. We'd close the door at night and find it open a crack in the morning, just enough for a sliver of darkness to spill out. The air inside always smelled faintly of her lilac perfume and mothballs, even after my mom scrubbed the place from top to bottom. My family called them miracles, messages from the other side. I just called them weird. Unsettling static I couldn't explain away. But none of that was anything like what happened with Zora. Zora was my older sister, my other half. We shared a room, a bunk bed, and every stupid secret a kid could have. She was the one who knew how to make me laugh so hard I couldn't breathe. And every single night, when I'd be up too late reading with a flashlight, her voice would drift down from the top bunk. Soft. Warm. Go sleep, little mouse. It was my signal. The world was safe. I could turn everything off. Then, one Tuesday, she just wasn't there anymore. A complication from diabetes she never told anyone about. No goodbye. No dramatic sickness. One minute she was stealing my cereal. The next she was an empty space at the dinner table. The silence in our house after that wasn't peaceful. It was heavy, suffocating. Sleep became impossible. The nights were just long, black hours I had to get through. I'd lie there in my bottom bunk, staring up at the empty mattress above me, feeling the hollowness of the room press in. About a month later, I finally crashed. I was sitting up against the wall, just staring at the grain of the wood paneling, and the next thing I knew, my head was heavy and my eyes were burning. When I opened them again, the room was thick with that pre-dawn grayness. My eyes were sticky with sleep. I looked toward the doorway, and my heart stopped. There was a shape standing there. For a second, a stupid, hopeful second, I thought it was Zora. But the longer I looked, the more it warped. The shape was all wrong. It had her pajamas on, the faded blue ones with the little moons, but the person inside them was stretched. The limbs were too long, like they were made of pulled taffy. The neck was too thin to support the head, which lolled to one side at an angle that made my stomach clench. Then it lifted its head, and I saw its face. There were no eyes. Just two big, black, perfectly round holes. Not shadows, not sockets, holes. Like someone had scooped them out, leaving nothing but a deep, hungry blackness behind. It took a step into the room. No sound. The floorboards didn't even groan. It didn't breathe. It didn't blink. It just moved. A silent, gliding horror. The scream that came out of me felt like it was tearing my throat open. I threw the covers over my head and just shrieked into the darkness. My parents burst in, flicking on the light, the sudden brightness, a physical shock. I was hysterical, trying to explain what I saw through gasps and sobs. My dad checked the hallway. My mom held me. "It's okay, baby," she whispered, stroking my hair. "Zora was probably just checking on you." But I knew. I knew in a way that made me feel cold all the way to my bones. That thing wasn't my sister. It was just wearing her skin. I begged them to let me sleep in their room, and they finally gave in, making a little bed for me on the floor. I must have fallen asleep eventually, because I remember waking up to a change in the room, a subtle pressure shift. The bed springs next to me groaned, just once, a soft metallic sigh. I kept my eyes squeezed shut, my heart hammering against my ribs. There was a weight on the edge of my parents' mattress now. Someone was sitting there. I could feel the dip. The air turned cold. The smell of lilac was gone, replaced by something else. Something like wet dirt and sugar that had gone bad. I could feel it leaning over me. I felt the absence of its warmth, A pocket of absolute cold hanging in the air right above my face. I couldn't fucking take it. I had to see. I opened my eyes just a crack. It was there. Sitting on the edge of the bed, its long stretched out back to me. It was looking down at my parents. Its head tilted, that same broken doll angle, as if it were curious. Studying them. Then, slowly, it turned its head. All the way around. Its neck twisted with a sound like wet leather. The hollow eyes found me, and it smiled. The smile stretched its face too wide, splitting the skin at the corners of its mouth. It was full of teeth that were too long and too sharp. I snapped my eyes shut, a sob catching in my throat. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I just played dead and prayed to a god I didn't believe in. The weight shifted. The cold presence moved from the bed to the floor, right next to me. I felt a pressure on my shoulder, a bone-chilling cold soaking through my pajama shirt. Then I heard it, a whisper right against the shell of my ear. So close I could feel the dead, cold air of it on my skin. It was Zora's voice. Perfect. Every soft, familiar note. Go sleep, little mouse. But it wasn't warm anymore. It wasn't safe. It was hollow, and it was starving.